This is the story of the new National Party rescue missions, always ready to rescue Grenada with resilience, courage, and unwavering leadership. Founded in the early 1980s during a time of great uncertainty, Grenada was still reeling from the aftermath of the revolution, especially the violent way it ended. Fragile and yearning for stability in 1984, leaders from across the region gathered on Union Island with the three existing political parties in Grenada at the time, namely the Grenada National Party, the GNP, led by Herbert Blaise, the National Democratic Party, the NDP, headed by George Brizan, and the Grenada Democratic Movement, GDM, headed by Dr. Francis Alexis. That meeting in Union Island resulted in the formation of the new National Party, the NNP. At the inaugural meeting of the newly formed NNP, Herbert Blaise was elected as the political leader, with our present leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell, appointed as the General Secretary. In December 1984, the first parliamentary general elections post-revolution were held. The new National Party won 14 of the 15 seats, and Herbert Blaise was elected Prime Minister. His vision was a united Grenada, with key pillars being economic and infrastructure development, tourism, and strong international relations. His humility and dedicated service to restore our democracy and rebuild our institutions will always be etched in our history. Internal differences between the leaders of the three parties that formed the NNP saw the exit of George Brizan and Dr. Francis Alexis in 1987. They subsequently formed the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, with George Brizan as the political leader and leader of the opposition in Parliament. By 1989, Dr. Mitchell became the leader of the NNP. In 1990, the NNP lost the general elections to the NDC, and Grenada was again faced with major challenges. Grenada's weak growth performance during the period 1990 to 1994 was attributed to a continuous contraction in agricultural output, which declined each year. In addition, the construction industry experienced a major contraction in 1992 due to the sharp fall in public sector investment. In 1993, output declined in the mining and quarrying, construction, and manufacturing sectors, as well as in agriculture. Gross domestic expenditure declined continuously from 117.4% of GDP in 1990 to 102.1% of GDP in 1994. By 1995, the new National Party was called upon by the people of Grenada to perform its second rescue mission under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell. The work of the NNP team and the clarion call for inclusivity during that period of service led to the party's first historic clean sweep victory in 1999. With the exceptional leadership of Dr. Mitchell, the NNP team went on to shape some of the most defining moments in our nation's history post the period of the revolution, leading the country through its darkest hours of two major hurricanes, Ivan and Emily, a world financial crisis, and a pandemic. Grenada suffered damages in excess of 200% of its gross domestic product, GDP, as a result of the hurricanes. Team NNP was charged with the responsibility to manage the rebuilding process in collaboration with the social partners, including the opposition. Worthy of mention are a few of the key Build Back initiatives: distribution of free material support, the reconstruction of 200 homes for vulnerable families, the negotiation of 6 housing schemes, most of which we have today: Soubise, Montrush, St. David's, Diamond, and Beauséjour, rebuilding of 2 national stadiums, negotiation with the U.S. aid to build 1,200 houses. Negotiations with the U.S. aid to finance the cost of homes for 150 families. Cap on gas price. Reduction in property taxes. Provision of planting materials, fertilizers, labor support, equipment, and grant support to farmers to compensate for their lost income. Fisher folks were given grant support to repair their boats, replace engines, other equipment, and to compensate for interim loss of livelihood. The new National Party was asked by the people of Grenada to sit out the period 2008 to 2013 in the governance of the country. But by 2011-2012, the cries of yet another rescue mission were heard. In 2013, in true NNP fashion, we armed ourselves for the battle, and in 2013, we took on the fight and were victorious. From his first entry into Parliament in 1984, Dr. Mitchell's leadership became a symbol of progress, leading to two more historic election victories in 2013 and 2018, where the NNP won all 15 seats. A powerful testament to the unwavering trust and confidence of the Grenadian people. This era of the NNP saw heightened collaboration with our social partners to craft a homegrown structural adjustment program. The key objectives of this program were increase growth, restore fiscal and debt sustainability, strengthen the financial sector, while ensuring that social safety net programs such as the Support for Education, Empowerment and Development SEED program better targeted poor and vulnerable households, and that a targeting instrument was utilized to more objectively identify beneficiaries. During this rescue mission, Team NNP reduced unpaid claims of $100 million and had an average GDP growth rate of 5% and above consistently. The national debt was significantly reduced, moving from 108% of GDP to 57.7% before COVID-19, a drastic decrease in unemployment from over 40% to under 15%. The NNP spearheaded the construction of two national stadiums, expanded the cruise port to accommodate over 300,000 visitors annually, and upgraded more than 1,500 kilometers of farm roads, making life easier for our farmers and boosting agricultural production. In the realm of social progress, the NNP's legacy is undeniable. We brought clean, potable water to over 95% of households, expanded electrification to rural areas, and revolutionized telecommunications, making high-speed internet accessible to schools and homes across the nation. Education was a cornerstone of the NNP's commitment to the nation. The government awarded over 3,000 scholarships, providing access to higher education for students who would otherwise not have the opportunity. Through programs like the Imani, Empower, Project Fly, Youth Biz, Aspire, Reach, and Youth in Agriculture, the NNP empowered thousands of young people with skills training, job placement opportunities, and the chance to build a better future through scholarships and other support programs. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the NNP protected the livelihoods of thousands of Grenadians through physical measures that stabilized the economy and prioritized public health. Over 7,500 families benefited from housing initiatives, and as of June 2022, the NNP was paying pensions to 2,200 retirees with an average annual budget of $75.4 million. These victories were more than just political successes. There were endorsements of NNP's dedication to the people of Grenada. Dr. Mitchell's leadership brought about significant economic progress. Today, Grenada finds itself at another critical crossroad. The current NDC administration's mismanagement has weakened our economy, eroded key institutions, and undone much of the progress the NNP worked so tirelessly to secure. Under the NDC, serious crime and inflation are skyrocketing, the quality of healthcare deteriorating, and the people are once again bearing the brunt of poor governance. As history has shown, when Grenada calls, the NNP is always ready to respond. We stand ready to rescue, rebuild, and restore. This isn't just a mission, it's a promise. From providing water to every home, paving roads that connect communities, and supporting families with housing, to educating our youth and boosting our economy, the NNP has always been the driving force behind Grenada's greatest achievements. The NNP has always been there to rescue Grenada. We are ready to lead again. We will bring Grenada back to stability, prosperity, and unity, lifting our nation to the heights and respect it deserves. Together, we will rescue Grenada because we have done it before and we will do it again.
Our former parliamentary representative and deputy chair of the political party, Mr. Gregory Bowen, deputy political leader and caretaker for Carriacou and PT Martinique, Mr. Cox, the caretaker for South St. George, Mr. Christopher Diali, and Ms. Gina James, the team lead for the town of St. George, persons from different constituency, persons viewing on all form of social media, a pleasant good evening. We start tonight with prayer because no matter what the headlines may say, what our government may promise, we know only through faith and unity we can rebuild Grenada. So let's stand as we bow our head in prayer and invite Ms. Jean Palmer as we invite the Lord's presence.
First, good night to everyone. Let us all reverence the Most High God. Let us all say the Our Father first. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us all our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evils. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Father God, we have to thank you Most High for everyone that come here tonight. Thank God for your safety and your guidance and your protection. Father God, without you, we are no one. Father God, as we all gather here tonight, Father, may you give us the wisdom, the understanding, each and every one of us, to understand what each and every one will say on the podium here tonight. And Father, as we listen, Lord, prepare us and guide us back to our home in safety in the hands of the living God. Father, give us, I repeat, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to listen each and every one with what they are bringing to us. Father, guide us, protect us, and may there no one to disturb us here tonight. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you very much. Persons are asked to remain standing. As we rise for our national anthem, let us remember this is our country, Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique. Not for a few in power, but for many who are struggling, let us stand as we sing our national anthem. 2, 3. Hail, Grenada, land of us, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation. Okay, thank you so very much. You may be seated. Faithful I will be. I will fight with all my working for the NNP. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party. Faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might, working for the NNP. I will fight with all my might, working for the NNP. Thanks for including that into my program. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, we have a young leader full of passion, commitment, and purpose. Help me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the brother Troy Noel as he gives a warm Tongue of St. George welcome.
I know who I'm voting for. NNP I'm voting for. Tell me who you're voting for. NNP we voting for.
Good night to everyone. Good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Good night to Tongue of St. George's. On behalf of the new National Party, and of course the Tongue of St. George, don't forget that, I bid you a warm welcome to everyone that joins us here. From our elders who have gone through the struggle and know what it is, to our young people who lead and continue to carry the flame, to all those that is tuning in online, and to our Grenadians in the diaspora who sends love and support from afar. We also recognize our past leaders, our caretakers, and all you, the hard-working community people, who stands for what is right and what is fair. Not for fame, not for show, but for love of country. Tonight is not an ordinary meeting night. It's about the truth. Standing up together for people who feel forgotten by the current administration. For the small businessman who's catching hell. For parents struggling to make ends meet. And for the number of Grenadians who believes that we can and we could do better. And I know for a fact, under NNP government, better will be done. Tonight, brothers and sisters, we speak plain truth. No fancy talk. No sweet talk promises. Just straight truth. Because while some paint over cracks and take photos now and post it, we are here to rebuild the nation, block by block, brick by brick, and stone by stone, with integrity and with the best leadership ever, Tonight, my brothers and sisters, just sit tight. Open your hearts and get ready for an evening of information. And we do hope that with the information comes inspiration. And we are going to be motivated to do what needs to be done. So please, make some noise for the organizing team, for the volunteers, for the security crew that keeps us safe and have the operation running smooth. Most importantly, make some noise for yourself, because you know that without you there is no NNP, there is no Grenada, there is no Carriacou, there is no Petite Martinique. Brothers and sisters, God bless every one of you. God bless the tongue of St. George, and God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And it would be a remiss of me not to end like this. NNPites, we are moving together. On the move, and ain't nobody gonna stop us now.
We are moving, ain't nobody could stop us now. We on the move, and ain't nobody could stop us now.
So let me hear it for the people of the tongue of St. George. No, that is not a warm welcome. Huh? That is an enthusiastic welcome. And it seems like there are persons on the outside already in jubilation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on. Let me welcome our sister from the heart of the tongue of St. George, a woman who continues to champion fairness, truth, and respect for the ordinary man and woman. Give a warm NNP welcome to the team lead for the tongue of St. George, Sister Jeanette James.
I know who I'm voting for. NNP I'm voting for. Tell me who you're voting for. NNP we voting for. So let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving.
Good evening, brothers and sisters from the tongue of St. George. Good evening to my fellow Grenadians and to you, our dedicated viewers. Let me also extend warm greetings to our political leader who is not here with us yet, but will be here shortly. Our deputy leader, our former deputy leader of the party and former minister, executive members of the party, fellow caretakers, supporters, and all you proud citizens that are gathered here this evening. It is truly an honor for me to stand here as a proud member of the new National Party. I am also very proud to hail from here, the tongue of St. George, the city that is full of history, culture, and a people full of resilience. We're strong in tongue. Just before we get started, I realized that in more recent times, especially my friends on the other side, they like to tell us, all you're always opposing things. And so I said, before I start and get into the business of why we're here this evening, I want to first give a definition. Let me first expound on what it truly means to be opposition. The word opposition does not mean being against the country. It means standing for the people when the government fails to do so. It means being the voice of accountability, the defender of fairness, and the protector of our democracy. The role of our opposition is to ensure that the people's interests come first. It promises to keep the leadership and their guidance by transparency and compassion. So get this straight. We're not opposing for opposing's sake. We are here to be the voice for the voiceless. The residents of the tongue has been speaking. And the team in Tongue, we are listening. Our people want to feel representation. They want to see care and attention given to their needs. Sadly, it appears that the well-being of our community is no longer a priority for those currently in charge. I needed to make this clear because we are experiencing some strange times here in Grenada. Things, at times, I believe, things that are wrong, we are saying that it's right. And things that are right, apparently it's wrong. So these days, you could steal things, and that is correct. But when NNP would have done things, established programs, and create opportunities for people, that was wrong. So I want us to get those things straight because it seems to me that Grenada is upside down. As we move on, let's talk about infrastructure and city maintenance as it relates to some of Grenada, but mostly the Tongue of St. George. There is no comparison to the work done by the new National Party in the Tongue of St. George. The refurbishments of the General Hospital, the National Stadium, the bus terminal, the Market Square, bridge, that bridge by Green Bridge, roads, drains, steps, walls, expansion of the Esplanade and the backing of the sea, creating land space, the cruise ship terminal, and more. It is clear that the new National Party has created a legacy of transformational development in the town. This type of development cannot be matched by any party. I'm sorry. However, today, when I look around the capital city, it's neglected, and that is clear. Poor drainage, damaged roads, blocked culverts plague our town. There are no environmental wardens anymore, no fixed personnel responsible for maintaining our drains, our sidewalks, and our roads. The St. John's River, just up the road, not too far from here. That mitigation project that once offered hope for persons in the area that always receive damage whenever we are having issues with flooding and heavy rainfall, just abruptly stopped with no explanation and no word as to when the project will continue. Stopping that project also put our beloved pan wizards without a proper home, nowhere to call a pan yard. Tell me, and they care about culture and our youths. Jesus. Garbage disposal has become a public embarrassment. Overspilling bins, littered sidewalks, no structured waste management, the roads across the town deteriorating daily, retaining walls collapsing, drains broken, and after last year's flooding, very little was done to fix the damages. The roads were broken, drains were broken, and today we have stagnated water still in those drains from since the rainfall last year. Mosquito, disease, but they say they care about the people from the Tongue of St. George. I ask you, where is the representation in Tongue? As it relates to housing and social well-being in the constituency, the issues of housing remains a serious concern. Materials are being distributed unfairly. Only people and all the people that is in need, mostly are elderly or single mothers, and the less fortunate families. And they like to say, stop talking about the less fortunate families. I want people to understand. They like to say it's hand-me-downs. Every country you go through, whether you're going to America, whether you're going to England, whether you're going to other Caribbean countries, there are social programs that a government have a responsibility to provide for its people. Not everybody is the haves. They will always have the hand-ups. But what the new National Party has a history of doing is giving opportunities. It is not a handout, it is a hand-up. But these days, everything is, we's not NNP. So all our social programs are almost dead. Our welfare assistance is nearly disappeared. Social programs completely neglected. The government must understand that they have a social responsibility to our people to provide relief and opportunity, especially during these hard times. I want to take this opportunity to call on the relevant authorities to look into the matter of several women have been complaining. There's a particular man that works within the constituency. And you as women, I have been speaking to them, we have been hitting the ground, and they are saying that these people are asking them to lose their dignity. Many of them said that they told the person's boss completely the truth, that he's been asking for things and favors they cannot give. But she ignores it. To this day, he's still wreaking havoc in our constituency. So I'm asking the authorities, please look into this matter. You're also female. Let's look out for our own. My advice, however, to these young ladies is for you to hold strong. Know that your voices are being heard. And we, the New National Party, will always stand for you. These things are disgusting acts, and they need to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point I want to speak about something that's very dear to me. Everything here is dear to me, but you see this one here? I think the fact that I'm a mother, I know is the fact that I'm a mother. And I understand that my children also will fall and be part of the future of this country. I want to really do well when I get old. I don't know how some people feel. I don't know how they think. But you see, youth development and opportunities for our young people, I have one question. What about the young people? These same people who vote for you? The same people you made many promises to? They are our future. But yet they are being treated as the forgotten generation. Programs that once gave them direction, the Imani, Project Reach, Project Fly, Third Chance, they are silent and nearly extinct. Even Youth Biz seem to be asleep. It seems like this government is more focused on erasing the legacy of the New National Party than building a future for our youths. I say it again, our young people need meaningful engagement. They need guidance and leadership and that genuine care about their growth and potential. Look around, more than half of Grenada's population fall between the ages of 16 and 35. If more than your population as it stands fall in that bracket, what does that mean? That means that it's time for you to get your act together. Time for you to create sustainable opportunities for our young people. I believe that the time is now for you to focus on nurturing that generation. Young people need to be equipped to be the next leaders for a brighter future and a more sustainable one for all of us. The youths in the tongue of St. George needs leadership that fosters volunteerism and social innovation to strengthen our communities. Scholarship opportunities regardless of your social standing and your political affiliations. Study support programs and digital literacy training. Career guidance, mentorship from professionals in various fields that could help walk them through their journey. We need that in the tongue. We are being ignored. We need workshops on financial literacy, training for communication, so when they apply themselves to a job, they can get the job when they walk through the door. Our young people needs to be fostered. They need the help. A lot of them are going through things like depression, and we are completely ignoring the fact that they are not the same as us and our parents. We need to provide whatever is necessary so this generation can follow through and become the leaders of tomorrow that could take care of me and you that is looking right now. This part here. As I walk the streets every day, and yes, I walk the streets every day, literally, because this is my home. My children live here in the tongue of St. George. My family live here. Look at some of them here tonight. And it breaks my heart every time to see so much of people from tongue being neglected. But the people from the tongue of St. George, we are no fools. We see through your lies and your old talk. So to the people I say this, you deserve better. Our children deserve better. Our elderly deserve better. We cannot and we will not continue to accept being treated as second-class citizens in this capital city they call the tongue of St. George. The new National Party has always placed emphasis on development, dignity, and opportunities for the people of this constituency. We have done it once, we've done it before, and with your support, we're going to do it again. So my brothers and sisters, as we prepare for the next general election, and mind you, don't say we don't know, and we're preparing, right? We are preparing. And for those of you looking on from the diaspora, and please, I also know that we have people who are non-NNPites. These meetings are not just for us. I want you to listen to the messages that you're going to hear tonight. I want you to really sink it in, because this is not about color. Look at the world. Grenada is going through something that the rest of the world is also going through. And when that election date is called, you have to think, who do you want at the helm to navigate our futures? Who do you believe will look out for our children and will look out for our elderly? And that word they don't like to hear, to look out for the vulnerable. Who will look out for us, the people who so-called have a little money, the middle class? It's only the new National Party that has always looked out for everybody within Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So stand with me. When the day comes, let us rise together. Let us send a strong message that the people from the tongue of St. George will no longer be ignored. Let us vote for leadership that listens, leadership that works, and not no kind of work them out. They just work hard. We want leadership that cares, leadership with empathy, and leadership that can guide. Let us vote for progress. Let us vote for the new National Party. Let us vote for our constituency. But for the rest of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, let's vote for all of us, because we depend on each other every day. I thank you.
I know who I'm voting for. NNP I'm voting for. Tell me who you're voting for.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jeanette reminded us that when the government neglects us, the duties are to be reminded that their duty is to ensure that the peacefulness and well-being of the people are being met. Ladies and gentlemen, the next brother that is coming to speak with us need little or no introduction. You have seen his passion, you have heard his voice, and you have felt his commitment to country. Jelani Glynn is one of those young leaders who's not afraid to speak the truth when it comes to power. He is grounded and focused. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome from St. Patrick's West, the caretaker, Brother Jelani Glynn.
The house is the symbol for the NNP party. We're going green all the way. Green, we voting green. Green, we voting green. Green, we voting green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me first start by saying, recognizing the members of our head table. Present with us, our deputy political leader, Senator Nolan Cox. Our deputy chair, Brother Bowen. Caretaker for the South, my brother, Mr. Diali. And of course, Sister Jeanette, Brother Troy, and the rest of the team from the tongue of St. George. Pleasant good evening to all of you who are here with us. Thank you for joining us this evening. And for those who are joining us online, bid you good evening as well. It's awesome to have you here. I can feel the energy in the building this evening. The atmosphere is alive. And it's good to be in the house. Great. So I am Jelani Glynn, caretaker of St. Patrick's West. And this evening, before I get into what I really want to speak to you about, I just want to segue a little bit and tell you that I've known Sister Jeanette and Brother Troy for over, you all might guess our age, but a very long time. I'll tell you this. When I was 17 years old, and I walked into the halls of St. John's Christian Secondary School for my first job, person who greeted me there was Brother Troy Noel. And we started our teaching experience there together. And we spent a few years working together there. We've been friends from then to this very day, lifelong friends. Would you believe he even did a course with him at St. George's University? You know, so it's been a long journey ahead, and it's really great to see him joining us here and joining the new National Party family, you know, in frontline politics. So to the business at hand. I'm here to address you this evening regarding a topic that is dear and close to my heart. And the saying goes, the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. And therefore we have a responsibility as a people, of those of us in positions of leadership, to create the opportunities, the guidance, the training that is going to allow our young people to thrive, to train, to educate themselves, to learn the values and morals of our society, so that tomorrow, when we are old and gray, they can have a Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique ready for us that we can be proud of and say, yes, we did a good job in helping them get forward and to continue creating their way. Friends, let me share a startling statistic with you. Did you know over 35% of our youth in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique are reportedly lacking job or training opportunities? 35%. And our population is largely youthful. Yes? That says a lot. And therefore it is not surprising that we see that many of our youth face unemployment, drug use, and gambling. It is scary when you see some of our young men, and our young ladies too, walk in the streets with mental challenges from drug abuse, from depression. It is troubling. That cannot be the future leaders that we are creating. We need to look deep, we need to reflect, and we need to ask ourselves, are we doing them justice? Are we doing the righteous job? Are we doing the things that is needed of us to lead our youth into a healthy and prosperous, sustainable Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique for tomorrow? Now that's a serious question. Now, despite $15 million allocated in my constituency and St. Patrick's East, which is St. Patrick, I think there's another 20 million, Brother Cox could correct me if I'm wrong, for Carriacou and Petit Martinique to give housing assistance and so forth. The whole issue of housing assistance is one thing. What we need to understand is, when we do not stick to those promises, when we do not create the jobs that those projects can do, who do you think are the persons being employed in construction? Who do you think are the persons going to Nulo and Tamsisi to get their training and certificates in construction? It is our young people. So when we deny them the opportunities for employment, we are leading them to frustration. Listen, An empty belly and an empty pocket is no good feeling. And I could understand when I look at some of our young brothers and our young sisters, what they are going through. It is not easy to go through all the training, to certify yourself, to go through your high school, TAM-CC. Sometimes you scrape and you get into SGU and you finish. And what is there for you? There are no job opportunities. Where are the jobs for the over 3,000 high school students that leave secondary school every year? Where is the jobs for the 800 plus TAM-CC students that graduate from TAM-CC every year? Where is the jobs for the hundreds that are leaving St. George's University and those returning on scholarships? Where are the jobs? And if our economy is not creating those jobs, then can we blame them for being frustrated? Can we blame them for turning to drugs and alcohol? Can we blame them for being depressed? Can we blame them for gambling? We have more young men gambling and young women too than playing lotto. That cannot be a good sight. We look at since burial, nutmeg and cocoa production has declined. Our fishermen, well, they lack adequate facilities, and now Grenada is facing a ban for our imports for our fishes. Again, the industries where our young people are aspiring to go to. And when those industries are being closed, when it's being stifled and suffocated, how do we expect our young people to remain motivated, to remain insightful, to bring out their innovation, their creativity? Friends, we have a responsibility, and our government and those in leadership positions, we entrust them to create those opportunities that are going to lead our people forward. Do you know nearly 7% of children miss school due to poverty? Think about that. Even though we have free education, the school fees, the tuition fees are being paid to something at New Low. How much at TAM-CC? But to do the examinations, to get the certification, is hundreds of dollars. So come on, we can't pay the transportation to get to school. There is no school feeding program at the tertiary institutions. How do we expect them to operate and to function? If we say we love the youth, let's not talk about it, but let's be about it. Let us show them that we understand them. Let us show them that we care about them. NNP is a party. Its policies focus on youth development, youth empowerment, job creation, and strengthening community identity. And I tell you, strengthening community identity is an important thing, Because without a sense of who you are and where you belong and where you're from, you are likely to not know who you are and may have to run to Africa to find out who you are. Well, I know who I am. I was born in Chantimel of St. Patrick, and I am Grenadian, and I am a very proud one. And while from my father's side, my family traces all the way back to Ghana, and on my mother's side, my family roots trace all the way back to Pakistan. And I am proud to carry the culture, some of which is African, and some of which is Indian.
All the way, green, we vote in green, green, we vote in green, green, on election day, green, we vote in green, green, and vote for us. And that
By worry and slow down. Our economy is slow. Yes, I am a proud member of the new National Party. Grenadian can stand. I grew up in the tongue of St. George's. Every street corner, every old building holds memories. walking with my grandmother on a Saturday afternoon or morning, getting groceries, picking up fish, talking, laughing. That is what the tongue means to me. It holds a lot. This tongue is not just part of my story. It is part of who I am. That is why it pains me to see what it has become. Derelict buildings where not affordable homes. Garbage piling up where we could have pride and beauty. Infrastructure crumbling when it should be shining as a jewel of the Caribbean. We can do better, and we must do better. Imagine this, a city where every high traffic area is power washed weekly, clean, fresh, and full of life. And I know I was talking about just power washing it water, you know. I want some lime concentrate and something in that. We're giving it a fresh kind of vibe. I don't want to smell pee when I'm waiting for a bus. I don't want to look at rats crawling in every corner. I want to see pride that we are building and investing in as Grenadians. I want to see a community where it has safe walkways, completed river projects, affordable housing, and smart urban planning that put people first. That is the kind of Grenada we can all build if we build with purpose. The new National Party has always believed in progress, but with a plan. Not building for building's sake, but developing wisely, sustainably, and with heart. We have a proud legacy of leaders, battle-tested four-star generals, but who built the foundation of this great party. And now it's time for a new generation to rise alongside them. A generation with energy, with vision, and the courage to take Grenada into the future. I am 35 years old, and I say to every young professional, to every young entrepreneur, to every young dreamer, Grenada needs you now. Your skills, your ideas, your innovation. Join us, not to complain about the system, but to transform it from inside. We need plans that help the retailer to survive in a digital world. Look at Tongue. We have so much retail stores. Those stores are struggling. It is becoming hard for everyone and every part of our society. Plans that help our young entrepreneurs get financing, not just training. Plans that protect our homes from climate change, support our farmers, empower our construction workers, and grow our tourism and technology sector. That is the kind of forward-thinking leadership that NNP stands for. We are the perfect balance, the energy of youth, the wisdom of experience, and the unshakable foundation of Grenadian patriotism. We don't make empty promises. We build economies that feed families. We build systems that uplift people. We build hope that lasts for our people. Tonight, I call on every Grenadian, from St. Paul's to Grand Anse, from River Road to Fontenoy. Let's restore stability in this country. Let's restore discipline in our government. Let's restore pride in who we are as a Grenadian people. Because when the new National Party leads, Grenada moves forward. We all know that. And when Grenadians unite, There's nothing we cannot compete and nothing we cannot do together. So let us rise with confidence. Let us dream boldly again. And let us build a nation worthy of our children's pride. Thank you, and have a God bless night to everyone.
Call them, wake them, tell them, we voting NNP again. Call them, wake them, tell them, go out there and call somebody, wake somebody, tell somebody, knock on the door by somebody, and we say, call somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Mr. Diali is addressing, he makes you feel like a teacher, right? You have no other choice but to listen attentively. And while every day or every week the prices in Grenada are going up, the person's hopes are going down, and the Prime Minister is taking plane and flying out. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker. Now, family, when you talk about results, you talk about delivery, when you talk about a man who does his work and he does not just talk, you have called one name, Nolan Cox. This is a man who served with distinction, a man who helped build communities, create opportunities, and strengthen a backbone of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Senator Nolan Cox.
The NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them. Sing for them.
Good night, good night. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me take this opportunity, of course, to recognize our most distinguished political leader, the Honorable NNP, our Deputy Chair, Brother Bowen, our sister Jeanette, who will be in our house tonight. Thank you for having us here. Brother Diali, Brother Gilani, and of course, you, the heartbeat of the New National Party. And of course, persons who are viewing online, both home and abroad. It's a pleasure to have you through this digital space. I am excited tonight. You know, a few days ago, some message from the political leader, Cox, can you come to Grenada for a meeting? And my response was like, anything for you. Just say the word. I'll be right there. Because it is important that we support each other. And it must not be said, but it must be seen, it must be showed. And that's the reason why I am here. Because I said, I get an opportunity to speak to our people on important matters, critical matters, matters that affect them day after day. And of course, the New National Party, as a party of leadership, we always come forward and give you the best information, the best guidance on how this country should move forward. Tonight, I have so much things that I want to see, but always constrained with time. But I'm truly excited to be here to share with you, to update you on some of the things that we have planned, and to let you know better some of the challenges that we are facing and why we are facing them. One of the things that is facing not just fishermen in this community, but fishermen throughout this country, is the seafood export ban that I myself have been hoping that we will find a way to quickly address it
But based on what we are seeing, based on what we are hearing, it appears that the ban will come into effect come January. Now, what does that mean for our fishermen? What does that mean for their families? What does that mean for every community, especially the fishing communities? What does that mean for this country? I think that is where we need to zero in. You have one of the largest export sectors in terms of revenue earner. And not just revenue, but foreign exchange revenue. That is going to cut off all of a sudden come January. You have hundreds of fishermen who are going to be impacted negatively. Some of them do have mortgages for the boat. Some of them have mortgages for their home. Some of them have kids in school. This is a very serious issue. And we as a party, when we have critical issues like this, we always wish the best for who is handling it, who is addressing it. And we wish the government can get it right. Because when they get it right, our people benefit. But this issue is one that is not being ventilated. It seems very quiet, and we trust that they are working diligently to address this. But for me, as a Carriacouan, and I can also speak for Petit Matnikans, they are the ones who are going to feel it the most. For an island of like Petit Matnik, where every household relies on fishing and trade for their livelihood, this is going to impact them significantly. And hence the reason why we are very concerned as a party to ensure that we pay attention to this issue. But what is most disappointing, that the representative for Carriacou and Petit Matnik, to this day, I have not seen him utter a single word publicly, either reaching out to our fishermen, either expressing empathy, or even calling a meeting to meet with fishermen to discuss this very important matter. And this clearly shows deficiency in leadership. It clearly shows significant deficiency in representation. The National Party, we have represented. But you know what is the most encouraging thing? That the people have a better alternative. A better alternative in the New National Party, a better alternative in Northern Cox to address this matter. You cannot have an important issue like that affects your people directly in a significant way, and you are silent. You just cannot. Brothers and sisters, we in the National Party, we care about this country. We care about this country. You know, it is very frightening, worrying, and sometimes we laugh. You know, and most recently, I heard somebody saying that when next is our leader visiting Grenada? Could you imagine? Could you imagine that your people is asking when next their leader is visiting their country? The New National Party, we never falter where leadership is concerned. We have always been resilient. We have always shown strong capacity in leadership. And we are proud. We are very proud of our resume. We have an outstanding resume. Yeah? Don't let anybody tell you anything. We are the best party. We have been and will continue to be the best party for this country. But I want to leave you with one line tonight, and you will hear me say it several times tonight, and maybe other nights going forward. It is always better with NNP. Remember that. we can look at our infrastructure, brothers and sisters. You know, sometimes being the former minister for infrastructure is one of the most challenging ministries. I think you get the most calls, and dear brother Gregory Bowen could attest to that. And it's a ministry that requires you to be hands-on. And there is no surprise that the Ministry of Infrastructure is failing. Because why? The person who is responsible is never there. How could you have such an important sector without any stewardship? When people fill in for you, either it's MIT or some kind of T filling in for you. You cannot. Infrastructure development has a direct correlation with economic development. And it is no surprise that when the Ministry of Finance indicate in the last, I think, half-year review, they indicated that revenues have dropped significantly for the same period last year, in comparing last year and this year. And there is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. When you listen to our construction workers, 2 months, 3 months, no pay. You listen to our contractors, millions of dollars in outstanding payments. Remember, if they cannot receive payments, they in turn cannot pay the hardware. They in turn cannot pay the workers. The workers in turn cannot pay the shop. They cannot pay the bus. They cannot pay the bank. So it's important for the government to be prudent, to be fair, and to ensure that workers receive payment for the services. And this government has failed in this regard. I recall during COVID, while every civil servant was home, every single civil servant received pay. That is leadership. That is stewardship. Even during COVID, we had some of the most important projects commencing. We have so much to be proud of. We have so much to be proud of where infrastructure development is concerned. When I look at the work that we have done, the plans that we have, the young people that we have engaged in terms of engineers, the young persons who got opportunities to study, we are a great party. Brothers and sisters, never, ever, ever give up on your party. You know, one of the things that we recognize that is a characteristic of this government is poor management. Poor management. I mean, if I start to give you the stories from the burial rebuilding Karakou, you would cry. I'm telling you. So much pilfering, so much mismanagement, so much wastage. It's a whole slew. And you know what is most disappointing? Is when the leaders say that they didn't find anything wrong. They didn't find no mismanagement. That is worrying. When every single person knows what is going on, it is clear, it is evident, and no one is held accountable. But yet, they talk about transparency and accountability. We have an opportunity. We have a responsibility as a party. We have to restore structure. We have to restore confidence in this country. We have to restore dignity back in this country. Because what we have seen is that this administration is characterized by victimization. And we have so much evidence of that. Brothers and sisters, some of the stories is so sad. This government is continuing to erode the pure fabric of our society. You know, and one of the things that we have to guard against, we have to speak up against this. because the young lady, the single mother in Karakou, who lost her house in Beryl and was given an opportunity to receive a new home, she did one thing wrong. She said to some friends, well, who she believed was friends, that the New National Party is the party that she intends to support, and that's her party. You know what happened? A truck came, take up all the materials, and they say, NNP will finish your house for you. Yes, we will finish that house for her. We are going to help her to build a foundation for our family. We don't victimize people like that. Why would you want to do somebody that? And it also goes, the same thing happened with a long-standing businessman who has employees whose business was damaged in Beryl. And he went to the bank, the minister's bank I like to call it, the GDB. He went to the bank. He prepared everything. He didn't have a piece of document he didn't go with. He brought everything. He received his letter saying, yes, his loan is approved. He received a call saying to come for a disbursement. When he got there, they said it has been withdrawn. And it has been withdrawn just because it is perceived that he's a supporter of the New National Party. Why are we doing our people that? Why are we treating our people like that? And you know, these are just a touch of the stories, brothers and sisters. This is what our dear brothers and sisters in Karakou and Petit Matnik have to endure on a daily basis. But I want to speak a little bit on the community of River Road. You know, at the New National Party, we are proud to have really spearheaded the flood mitigation project, the St. John's River project. That is a major achievement, not just for our party, but for the community. And that is what we do as a party in government. You ensure that you deal with the issues and problems that affect people on a daily basis. And the issue of flooding in River Road has been a long-standing one. And we, as a party, we took a decision, and we even started that project in the rainy season. You know, persons question why we started in the rainy season. But it was a technical approach. It was a strategic approach why we started the rainy season. Because why? The dry season will come, and that will give us an opportunity to advance further before the next rainy season came. So we know what we're doing. We plan what we do. And all we had asked is for them to continue the project. And look where it's at. It has stalled. The contractors have tendered. They're just waiting to be called to start the work. But it appears that this government have challenges with cash flow. It appears so. They seem to deny it every time. They say they got money, but yet for all, our ordinary workers and service providers cannot get the money. We want to see this project completed. And if it means that you have to vote us back in to ensure that it's completed, then make sure you do it. Because we have the blueprint for success in infrastructure. We have it. Brothers and sisters, I remember I stand in Parliament when this new ministry was established called MIT. And I said that this ministry doesn't make any sense. There is no need for it. And we have seen it materialize today. Where is implementation gone? Where is MIT? All projects start, stop. Projects is like a traffic light. Only traffic light does go like that. I never see that yet. Just imagine enclosure where you have such a serious issue. More than a month now, work has stopped. Work has stopped. You know, so it is very concerning, brothers and sisters. Very concerning. And it is clear that this not ready for Grenada. They're not ready for Grenada. As Brother Gilani said, if you have to leave your country to go and find yourself, that sends a strong message. He says something, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, I want to touch on a critical issue. It has to do with why we as a party believe that Grenada needs NNP. We have demonstrated capacity in leadership. We have been tested. Natural disasters, health disasters, political disasters, we have been tested. Seen now is that we again have to take up the mantle to get this country on this route. This very, very serious issue. It's a very serious issue. There is a serious cloud hanging over this country. And you can feel it. You can feel it every day. And the only how we are going to remove this come election day, we have to vote it out. We have to vote them out. Brothers and sisters, you National Party have stand with Grenada. We have stand with this country through thick and thin. We have stand with our young people. We have stand with the farmers. We stand with our fishermen. And we are going to do it again, and again. I am very proud to be given an opportunity to lead the stewardship in Pitimatnik and Kiaraku. And the reason why I am excited is because I know that we have great things in store. We have great things in store for our people. We have an excellent opportunity to remove this high level of victimization. We have an opportunity to remove, well, I want to put it correctly. I want to say there is this practice that is taking place around where persons believe that they could start their term with $2 in their bank account, and after 3 years, they need to work again. We have to end this. And if this doesn't send a strong signal to the leadership of this country, then I don't know what is. If this does not send a strong signal to the voters of this country that there is some things festering, and we need to root it out. We need to clean it up. We need to clean up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Brother Cox. You know, when Brother Cox speaks, action follows, and no excuses are being made. Ladies and gentlemen, what I do want to recognize this evening in my very own space, last week we had the opportunity for, and the panel was a lot of females, high percentage of females, but men among us this evening. When you look at the table of the New National Party, men within the New National Party, as we say in local terminology, we're looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker here this evening, a few words can describe him: experience, integrity, and performance. The man who built and fixed and delivered time and time again. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our former minister and former parliamentary representative, Brother Gregory Boeing.
Beyond the move and ain't nobody could stop us now. Beyond the move and ain't nobody could stop us now. Beyond the move and ain't nobody could stop us now. That day. That day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our political leader, Honorable NNP, the deputy political leader, Brother Nolan Coct, Senator, constituency caretakers, see Brother Christopher Diali. We have the team lead for the Tongue of St. George, our Sister Gina James. We also have from St. Patrick, our Brother Glean. And we do have from the south, Brother Christopher Diali. And I want to recognize the members, other members of the national executive of the new national party, and members of constituency executives, starting with the Tongue of St. George, and all other constituencies here present. I recognize those of you listening and viewing online. In this constituency, first and foremost, the Tongue of St. George, the rest of Grenada, the region, and the wider world, particularly the Grenadian diaspora. 2 weeks ago, brothers and sisters, I appeal to you, the Grenadian diaspora, to pay special attention to what is happening in Grenada. I indicated to you of those who have plans to use you to achieve their goals. This evening, I again say to you in the diaspora, thank you for listening. We know that you have not only been paying attention, but are also following up with decisive actions. And how do we know that? Every day, we see Grenadians from the diaspora in Grenada. And we have been engaging you. And what you have been saying makes me proud to be a Grenadian. Because you could be fooled, because you are away, but you listened to my call and the call of many others on the new National Party team. And I can safely say, thank you again to you in the diaspora. You are listening and you are Grenadian. And I recognize you, the ladies and gentlemen, constituents present here this evening. I recognize everyone now following this meeting. And those who will take the time of later to watch the recording. When you are watching, you are doing us proud as a Grenadian. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I stand on the platform in this Tongue of St. George to bring you one of the many messages from the new National Party. Let me compliment the team from the Tongue of St. George, led by our sister Gina James, for their hard work in keeping the new National Party alive in the minds and hearts of the constituents of the Tongue of St. George. You have a unique situation. And the fact that you are working and the fact that you're doing what you have to do deserve commend and deserve compliments. I must compliment the team from the Tongue also for organizing this evening's activity. The fact that you are here today is testimony to the team's effort and a reflection of our party's success nationally in reaching Grenadians of all political persuasions and all walks of life, demonstrating the new national party's warm grounding and connection with the people. Brothers and sisters, the difference between NNP and NDC is simple. Results versus excuses. Results versus excuses. We lead with discipline and deliver with vision. They lead with chaos and deliver confusion and pain. Let us consider the liberalization of the telecommunication sector. Before liberalization, a private company would bring documents to the minister for Grenada and say, here, sign. Documents reflecting Grenada's sovereign stance in the International Telecommunication Union. But it will be prepared by the private company and be placed before the minister. Sign. So you see this? Not this minister and not the new National Party's administration. No way. So the liberalization was fought for and implemented. A foundation for Grenada's economic success is a good telecommunication sector. No business, large, medium-sized, small, or micro. And we're talking about the little lady with the peanuts on her head in the micro division. None could survive without good telecommunication access. There will be no social media. The social media that some use to their advantage to propagate propaganda and lies. But social media is for the benefit of the country, for marketing, for business, for education, for online training. There will be no social media, no training, no education online for our children and our people. Were it not for the initiatives of the new National Party. And what do we mean by access? Access, you have technical capacity. In other words, the telecommunication could be very good. You could have internet, you could have Wi-Fi, you could have all the traffic, the electronic telecommunication traffic. That is a necessity. But another significant requirement is that it must be affordable. If you have all these things going on and you cannot pay for it, then you have no access. And then it is no good. So one of the benefits of liberalization is to not only bring these technical capacities to your reach, but to make sure you can pay for it, to make sure that it is affordable. That is why, brothers and sisters, you hear in the school today, computers in school. But computers in school without the capacity of the telecommunication system is useless. If you cannot connect through the internet, if you cannot connect through electronic means, then what good is computers in school? The new National Party liberalized the telecommunication sector. Vision for our people, vision for business, vision for investment in our country. Consider also the liberalization of the electricity sector. Since 1994, the NDC put our electricity access into the hands of a private company and was yet as a monopoly. At the beginning of this decade, the new National Party consummated the liberalization of the electricity sector. Why do I say consummated? Bring everything to a finality. Because since 2016, we passed the Liberalized Electricity Supply Act and the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission Act. Just as in the telecommunications, you have the NTRC, the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, that regulates the sector. Flow can't fight with digital. Digital can't fight with a local person. They must all go through and be under the purview of the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. Just so, you do have the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission for the electricity sector. They set rates. They set rates not only for the consumers, but how you pay each other. For example, since we consummated this regularization, the company did not want to give up. They fought tooth and nails, went to court. And after the COVID situation, the agreement signed by the NDC was torn up because the laws took full effect. Our system was no longer managed by an agreement where a private company set rates. The rates are set by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. What is happening today? Because of this, people can now put solar panels on their home, use the electricity, and sell the excess to the grid for a fair price. Before, if you want to put it on the grid, you have to go to the master if you want to put the solar system, and then they pay you a price that they deem fit, or they don't pay you at all. But after this was consummated by the end of the last decade, into the 2020s, over 333 solar energy connections were made. That is, people were able to put the solar panels on their home, and when they use as they wish, they'll sell it to the grid, sell it to Greenlake, for Greenlake to on-sell to the consumers. And they cannot tell you that they're paying you 21 cents when it is worth 39 cents. The Public Utilities Commission will set that rate. We also have new utility-sized renewable energy providers, which is possible for them to now come on, set up a solar system, and sell the energy to Greenlake for on-selling to consumers. And all of this will be managed by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. They can't say I'm not buying, and they cannot say I'm paying you 3 cents. It is the commission that will determine these rates. And these laws were passed since 2016. But because of the attitude of the provider, only when they gave up shop, then all these things could have come on stream. So we initiated a 15 megawatt solar plant. We also commenced the process with help from Japan, from New Zealand, and the Caribbean Development Bank for a 15 megawatt geothermal plant. And this went through the region, the OECS region, the New Zealand, Japan assistance. The beauty with the geothermal plant is that you generate electricity from hot fluid coming from the earth. So sun could be shining, wind could not be blowing, sun could not be shining. This is what you call base renewable energy. It works and it works and it works. But lo and behold, what we have seen now is that this geothermal project has been replaced with a project for LNG, liquid nitrogen gas. And this is also a fossil fuel. It bears with it what you call the fuel surcharge component. $19.4 megawatts of dual fuel plant will be purchased. That's really going and keeping the line going. You may have to purchase 1 or 2 diesel engines to keep your system going. But to go back and remove the renewable energy drive to remain in diesel fuel generation is not what we, Grenada, promised IRENA, the International Renewable Energy Agency, that we will do. Our commitment is to be fully renewable energy generated, working with consumers who put plants on their home, and working with utilities who will set up big plants so that all of us can utilize renewable energy. And 19.4 megawatts of dual fuel plant will be purchased. Anyone knows who Wärtsilä is? Who the company Wärtsilä is? You should try and find out. Watch the relationship. In addition, 10 megawatts capacity of diesel engine was rented in 2024. And when I ask a consumer, I say, what went up? Is it the fuel surcharge or the non-fuel charge? And he said clearly, he said, but you all taught us this, the difference between the two. It is the non-fuel charge that went up. And the non-fuel charge could only go up when you buy plant and equipment, or you rent plant and equipment. The consumers must inquire into this detail. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, which sets rate, can be approached by any customer, any consumer with a complaint in rates, and they have to answer you. Now we have steep hikes in rates. It is your privilege to go to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission and say, explain to me the high prices. They have to. It is part of the laws setting up the regulatory system for the electricity sector. Act number 20 of 2016, Section 18. And look at the amendments. So we cry and we ask, well, this hike and everything is on the radio. We have not heard them come out. And part of the fundamental duty is to come and educate you, the consumer. But you can demand. And I ask you to find out what is happening. Even if there is the reason and price for the steep hikes in electricity prices, the new National Party under those conditions help the Grenadian people. Reduction in the non-fuel charge, a cap on fuel price, and the removal reduction in taxes on basic consumer goods. That happened already and the people in Grenada got relief. Brothers and sisters, you have no choice but to return the new national party into office so that we can continue to help you. One party builds confidence, the other creates crisis. NNP brings economic growth, the other brings mismanagement and deception. Under NNP, Grenada had over $500 million in reserve. Under NNP, we now face the possibility of over $700 million in new debt with nothing to show for it. The high thresholds for direct awards of contracts, and our brother Donald Cork alluded to this, mean more wastage, more favoritism, and more failed projects. Come to me, you are my friend, and you can get this. No, you stay away. But then later, I recognize that you are an NDC. But why didn't you tell me you didn't get any support because you were not sure that you were an NDC? The new national party, so Grenada, every Grenadians, NNP, NDC, tooth bagay. That is what we took the oath for. That is why you have no choice but to return the new national party to office. Securing loans would become very difficult and problematic. You remember, is the Solaris, the Polaris, the Molaris? They called for ministers. They called for ministers to donate a month's salary, while they have other sources of income, like selling passports, in order to get you, the Grenadian people, with your single minute source of income, to invest in Polaris, Solaris, Golaris. This shows desperation, not leadership. They inherited stability and delivered struggle. Let's look at the NDC claim that they recovered the UK SIF. The UK SIF is a project going up Molyneux and higher up and higher up. It starts with Molyneux. But brothers and sisters, when the United Kingdom embraced Brexit, where they move out, right? It was clear, and if you had ears to listen, and we listened, many countries that received financing, those were withdrawn. But Grenada did not wait. We moved with the help of the Caribbean Development Bank, engaged the UK Aid Department, and so we kept that project. So there's no truth. They didn't save anything. Everything was there. Everything was there. And we did the necessary groundwork. NDC came into office without a clue. Let me tell you, when NNP resumed office in 2013, I recall Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell as chairman of the cabinet. After we reviewed every ministry from what we met there, and we reviewed it in a timely manner. Within 2 to 3 weeks, every ongoing issue was reviewed. And when we looked at some of the decisions made, listen to the attitude of a leader. Dr. Mitchell will say, I wonder why Tillman took this route. And when he said Tillman, they're companions, so there was no disrespect. He meant, why was this action taken by the former cabinet? And we sat and brainstormed, and we found an answer to every question. That is why the new National Party was able to move quickly into paying salaries when public servants could not be paid at the end of 2013. We found out the problems. We found out why they made certain decisions. We corrected it, and we instituted our self-acclaimed structural adjustment program. We must remember that when the world was changing, NNP kept Grenada steady through sound diplomacy. You can't fool the people. The world trusts competence, not confusion. NNP is a government of experience, accountability, and foresight. We secured funding through skillful negotiation, diplomacy, not through desperation. We govern with purpose, guided by one simple rule: service above self. Service to our people above self. NNP builds the nation. NDC thrives on narratives. I therefore make the following call to action. Let us restore fiscal responsibility and credibility to government. Let us bring back strong leadership and trusted competence. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique deserves better. And better is the new National Party. We can only do this by participating in the decision-making process. Ensure that you are registered and support the new National Party. Let us get ready. Remember, the NNP serves everyone. Mainland Grenadians, every Carriacouians, and every Petit Martiniquans. When we are in office, we serve everyone. Continue to listen to the new National Party and restore a future for our country. Support the new National Party.
But ain't nobody could stop us now. We on the move and ain't nobody could stop us now. We on the move and ain't nobody could stop us now.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know you would have had a lot of information. Now when you have to realize that your rent and your electricity bill is going competition, you have to start thinking differently. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker and our final speaker for the evening, a leader with grace and grit, the first lady to lead our political organization, the People's Champion. Let us rise and welcome Honorable Emmeline Pay, our political leader of the new National Party.
NNP are voting for. Tell me who you're voting for. NNP we voting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so very much, and thank you to all of you for such a warm welcome. Tonight I want to recognize members of the head table, of course, former member of Parliament and caretaker for St. George Northeast. I recognize Brother Gregory Boyne, our chairman of the party, our deputy chairman of the party. Of course, I want to recognize specially, he journeyed from Carriacou and he's here with us on the mainland tonight. I especially recognize the deputy political leader of the new National Party, Brother Nolan Cox. Of course, our other caretakers, Brother Diali, Brother Glean, the team leader for Tongue of St. George at this time, Sister Jeanette James, other members of the team. I recognize executive members of the new National Party. Brothers and sisters, good night to every single one of you. Especially, I see some stalwarts. Sister H. I see some stalwarts here tonight, and I recognize all of you. And we live in a Grenada where you have to say Sister H because you're not sure what trouble you're going to get people in. It's this time that we live in. So sad for our country. But tonight I want to especially recognize all of the Grenadians, Carriaconians, Pitimatnicans who are viewing with us tonight online. And I say to you, it is a very warm feeling, a good feeling, to be in the tongue of St. George tonight. A seat that the New National Party has held for several elections. And a seat, brothers and sisters, that the New National Party feels confident that we are going to win again. And I'm not saying this, brothers and sisters, based on emotions. I'm saying this from the data we've collected. I'm saying this from what is said on the ground in the tongue of St. George. So some persons ask, do you yet have a caretaker or a candidate for the tongue of St. George? And I say to them, we have a very competent team that is doing the political work in this constituency. And tonight I want to recognize every single one of them for the work that they have been doing. And I encourage you, if you live in the tongue of St. George, join the team that is doing the work on the ground that is going to bring better leadership to this constituency. Brothers and sisters, we will name a caretaker. We will name a candidate at the appropriate time. As a matter of fact, I say to you, it is not a dream, it is a reality that we have at least 4 or 5 persons who are interested in representing the NNP in the next general elections. So we want to make the best choice, and we are going to take our time, and we are going to do this strategically. But our interest is bringing back representation to this constituency that is going to serve the people of this constituency. That is why we have been building, brothers and sisters, what I call a perfect model for leadership. An excellent blend, I call it, between competent, youthful leadership and leadership that has been tried and tested. Brothers and sisters, this model is not only going to bring us victory, but I say to you tonight that this model is going to ensure that we build upon the legacy and the achievements of the New National Party. So this team, brothers and sisters, you can look forward to what we are going to achieve for you in the future. So I say to you tonight, NNP is focused. NNP is united. And NNP is ready to lead Grenada again. Brothers and sisters, one of our recent surveys in the tongue of St. George tells us that the residents of this constituencies, they have several concerns. And the top of this list is the rising cost of living. And I don't think that this is different in any part of Grenada. But the people of this constituency have also listed unemployment, poor health care services, rising crime, and deteriorating road conditions as the other 4 critical concerns that they face. But you know what, brothers and sisters? We have an administration, we have a government, we have a prime minister that seem unbothered about the concerns of the people. And that is a dangerous place to be when leadership seems to be unaware, seems to be uncaring about the issues that people are concerned about. So while we have a serious issue of rising cost of living in this country, inclusive of this constituency, government continues to spend recklessly. Brothers and sisters, right here in the tongue of St. George, almost $1 million was spent lighting up the carnage. The question is, where are those lights today? Waste of monies, poor leadership, poor vision, and poor planning. Brothers and sisters, I say to you This kind of mismanagement, this kind of wastage must stop, and the NNP is coming back to address this. Because you see, brothers and sisters, this $1 million could have been spent right here in this constituency to improve the housing situation for poor, ordinary people who need housing support. But not just that. Brothers and sisters, as a nation, we have already spent more than $1 million paying for a house for the Prime Minister of this country when there is a government house right there in this town, in this constituency. Almost $1 million already spent. And that is just that is just part of the story. But we are wasting additional monies to have security guards functioning at the residence when the Prime Minister refuses to live there. Brothers and sisters, what a shame. Because you see, this $1 million could have been spent on putting food on the table of people in the town of St. George. That $1 million could have been spent purchasing medication for senior citizens in the town of St. George. That $1 million could have been spent sending children to school. Wastage without care. Brothers and sisters, millions of dollars are also being spent right here in the town of St. George on projects that are delayed, cost overrun. Brothers and sisters, but not just cost overrun on major projects. This is all around the country. Even today, a lady called me. 1 year ago, they started building a wooden house for a lady who did not have a house, lost her house in the hurricane. 1 year ago, they started constructing that house. Just finished. But that's not the sad part of the story. The saddest part of the story, she shared with me. The original contractor went off with full payment, and the house was a disaster. The same kind of disaster that the Minister for Housing spoke about. That kind of disaster. And she said to me the second contractor was hired for $25,000. Now that might sound like nothing to some people, but you know what? $25,000. Think about people right here in this constituency unemployed for 3 years because they lost their jobs from right here in this school where we are sitting and standing tonight. Think about what $25,000, think about what these millions of dollars could do for ordinary people who live right here in the town of St. George. Think about the community projects, millions of dollars wasted by a government that doesn't care about the people. Think about the Panyard and how they could have utilized just a little percentage of those millions of dollars. Brothers and sisters, I say to you tonight, when the new National Party returns to office, we will have a zero tolerance for wastage of government resources because the people deserve better. We will put systems in place to ensure that there is better management of government projects, improved efficiency where the people benefit from the millions of dollars that are spent. We would ensure that competent people are engaged to give us the returns on the monies that are spent. Brothers and sisters, not just that. As people grapple with rising cost of living, I say to you, when the new National Party returns to office, reducing the cost of living will be a top priority. Because I'll give you one example. People in this constituency, people everywhere in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, ask them, what is the biggest concern tonight as it relates to the rising cost of living, they would tell you not just food, they would tell you the recent increase in the electricity bill. Brothers and sisters, I refer this government back to what the NNP did, because we're not asking them to do anything new. We are telling them that when the NNP was there, we removed VAT on electricity bill. We reduced the non-fuel charge on electricity by 25%. So we are not asking them to do anything that we did not do. And what we saw was a drop in the electricity bills. But you see, when you don't care, you do anything and you do it comfortably. So rather than thinking about the people and the pain of the people, the Prime Minister defends removing these measures by saying that the shareholders of Grenlec need to make a profit. We did not elect him to protect the shareholders of Grenlec. We elected him to protect the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That's his only interest. You see, I would imagine that he has shares in Grenlec, I would imagine, because his concern seems only to be the profits for shareholders. And let me say tonight, to all the shareholders, we wish that you make all the monies you could make. But the people of Grenada should not be struggling to pay their electricity bills. Government has a responsibility to bring relief to the people. So find a formula, protect the shareholders, and serve the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Brothers and sisters, while people in this constituency are struggling, we cannot see any new investment by this administration in 3 long years. You would think that that would be a priority. So they are traveling more, bringing back less. And any serious investment that is happening in this country, I challenge you, it was started under the new National Party. You would think with the current situation that they would invest more in the productive sector. They continue to invest less and less and less and do less in the productive sector. So what do you expect? More pain, more suffering that the people would experience, less spending even in important areas like agriculture. Brothers and sisters, when you look at tourism, and we know that in this constituency, many people, even right here on the platform, Sister Jeanette, many people in the tongue of St. George depend on the tourism sector. What do we notice? Arrival numbers are dropping. But think about it. Dropping numbers, increase electricity costs. What is the risk you're creating for workers in this industry? A government that cares will protect the workers, would protect important industries like the tourism industry. And that is why, brothers and sisters, I feel it for our business sector. I feel it for our homeowners, brothers and sisters, with the rising increase in the cost of electricity bill. When will the government come through for the people of this country? That is why I say to you, when the new National Party returns to office, we will work even closer with the private sector to ensure that there's a collaboration that is going to be in the interest of workers, the interest of their business, and of course, the interest of government. Because when businesses succeed, you see, we understand the formula. When businesses succeed, guess what? People benefit. When businesses succeed, the private sector benefit, but the economy also benefits. Government also benefits. And that is why a relationship with the private sector that bears fruits for this country and its people is so very important. But furthermore, I say to you, when we return to office, we will re-establish the Committee of Social Partners to ensure that our social partners and stakeholders have a real say at the table of development in this country. I still don't get it. Why did the government discontinue this partnership? Because you see, right now there are so many issues that the government should be engaging our stakeholders on, should be sitting with the churches, the private sectors, NGO. These people should be around the table supporting the government of Grenada. We cannot afford to lead as if we are heading towards, I don't even want to mention it, but I'll put it this way. This government seems to be shifting further and further away from a democratic governance system in this country. And we say to them, involve the people in decision making. So when you consider the U.S. ban on fish export, when you consider the U.S. request to hold military equipment in this country, when you consider the bill to reduce the age of civil legal responsibility, when you consider the decision to make October 19th National Heroes Day, I ask the government, where are the people of this country in the decisions that you are making? So I say to you tonight, this is no joke matters. Consultation is a serious thing. That is why we have landed ourselves in a serious mess as it relates to the new bill that this government recently took to Parliament, considering the reduction in the age of civil legal responsibility. Brothers and sisters, this is no joke. And I want to remind you tonight that this bill that was brought to Parliament must never be made into law. Because you see, I've consulted several lawyers on this bill, and they have said without reservation that this bill would make abortion legal in this country. Only this morning, someone was arguing with me why it's important that we should make abortion legal. I am very sorry, but there's no way that I'm going to support this. Absolutely no way. Brothers and sisters, lawyers have confirmed that if this bill goes into law, our children can access a sex change without their parents' involvement. Jesus Christ, help us. Brothers and sisters, when the new National Party returns to office, we are going to pass legislation that are going to protect our children, not destroy them. And I don't care what anybody gives as an explanation. This bill is about the destruction of our children and the protection of those who are going to destroy them. We cannot support by any means. Brothers and sisters, that is why tonight, conscious of the time, I say to the people of this country, and this is a rallying call, you have to be the change that you want to see in this country. And I challenge you tonight, for Grenada's sake, for your sake, for your children's sake, for your grandchildren's sake, I say to you tonight, join me. Join the new National Party. Let us come together, forget about color tonight, and think about the interests of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Let us think about our future. So I call on public servants tonight. I call on private sector workers tonight. I call on our men and women, our young people throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Let us form an alliance. Let us partner together in the interest of the development of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Because I say to you, NNP has done it before. NNP has done it before. And I guarantee you tonight that with your support, whichever party you belong to, together we will do it even better. So God bless the tongue of St. George. God bless the people of the tongue of St. George. God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We love you and God bless you. Have a good night.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice, for you have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no other. You know I've known you as a father. You know I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Oh, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good and so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Ooh, yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything, oh Lord. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Come make us sing it again. Your goodness is running after, oh na 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 na, running me down.
So, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, we call on Michael Stephen to give us the vote of thanks. Michael Stephen. Yes.
Good night, everyone. Yes, indeed, I am a new face to the NNP, a new member of the House. Tonight was real vibes. Truth, passion, and purpose, right? On behalf of the New National Party, I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who came out and those watching online. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to stand with the team that has proven time and time again that we build and not blame. We heard powerful words tonight, words from experience, hope from our leaders, and courage from our caretaker on the ground. NNP continues to be the party of results, not excuses. While some talk about transformation, we have already done the work. from roads to housing to education to youth development. The evidence stands strong. To all the speakers, organizers, supporters, respect and appreciation. To the people, stay strong, stay alert, and stay ready, because the wind of change is already blowing, and it is blowing green. The NNP has done it before. We lifted this nation from hard times, and we are going to do it again, bigger and better. With God's guidance and the people's support, Grenada will rise one more under the new National Party. Thank you. Travel safe. Let's keep moving forward together, because when the NNP leads, Grenada succeeds. Good night.
So Grenada, tonight, you spoke loud and clear. The people is awoken. This is not about politics. It is about progress. It is about protecting your future, your children's future, and your country's dignity. We want to say have yourself a blessed night, and we see you again in our next public meeting, which we will inform you of as soon as we have that information. Do have a blessed evening.
I know who I'm voting for. NNP I'm voting for. Tell me who you're voting for. NNP we voting for. So let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving. Every man is smiling. Let's keep moving. Salary receiving. Healthcare improving. Keep moving. Pension coming. Keep moving. Better condition. Keep moving. NNP the party for the land. Let's keep moving. Show me your colors. Let's keep moving. Your green colors. We came back in 2013 with a clean sweep. We win 15, and my country progressing. NNP the winning team. 3,000 jobs for Imanis. The way forward we please. Numbers of higher